with me according to your word. Let it be with me according to your word. Let it be. I was listening to a podcast on our lectionary texts this week, and I was a little surprised and intrigued when I heard one of the hosts say that to him, the ultimate Advent hymn is Let It Be by the Beatles. Now, I've never been a huge Beatles fan. I definitely have an appreciation, but I definitely know this song. And if you don't know this song, it's okay. I would be surprised, but you can probably look it up on YouTube or ask somebody to help you do that. But we're going to look at just a piece of this song today. And this is the first verse of the song, and you can sing along with me if you'd like. But when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Kind of hits different when you think of it from the point of Advent, right? So when Paul McCartney, the author of these lyrics, was asked the meaning behind the song, he said that he was in a time of real discernment in his life, and he had a dream that his mother, whose name was Mary, and who died when he was 14, he had a dream that she came to him and said, basically, it's going to be okay, just let it be. However, when an artist puts art into the world, as we all know, its original inspiration may not be what actually makes it important to the person who receives it. All art is open to interpretation, and I believe that Jesus is present in all art. When folks asked Paul if he had any religious inspiration for this song, he said no, but if people want to interpret the song that way, it's fine by me. And many people have heard this first verse and thought of Mary, the mother of Jesus, speaking words of wisdom and saying, let it be. We hear in today's text that when Mary is approached by the angels, she is told of a plan. She's not asked if it is okay, but is told this is going to happen to you. This is what's going to happen. But instead of fighting the plan out of fear or any other number of reasonable emotions that I could definitely feel myself, but she says, let it be. Let it be with my body that I will be the vessel for this child. And let it be that I will also be tasked with this huge undertaking of mothering God. Parenting is hard enough, right? Mary may not have had the ability to say no. We don't know what would have happened if she said, please do not let it be. We only think that we can imagine the courage it took her to walk headlong into this terrifying situation, knowing that any number of things could have gone wrong. Any number of things could have resulted in her being persecuted or killed. She had to rely on her own faith, her own trust, that no matter what came her way, God would pave the way. She had to let it be into God's hands in complete faith and trust in God. Now, during the same angelic visit, Mary was given the first piece of evidence that God would see her through this. She was told that her relative Elizabeth was also pregnant. She would not have to walk this path alone. She would have God with her in more ways than one, but she would also have the comforting presence of a trusted female relative and friend, one who was older and wiser and could experience this with her. And it must have been meaningful to Mary because she went off immediately to spend the first few months with her relative Elizabeth. We can only imagine that she needed to be with someone she trusted to help her on this pathway. And Elizabeth probably needed somebody too. Many of us have been in difficult situations in our lives where we are so torn or so confused or so overwhelmed that we have no other choice but to lay our burdens at the feet of God and say, let it be, Lord. These are the times when we can cling to others walking the road with us. And even though we may not be able to solve each other's problems, we can walk through them together. This surrendering of Mary to this situation she was given and this solidarity with Elizabeth is an excellent model of what it looks like to walk the path of faith through life. We know that God is with us, and we know that our siblings in Christ are with us. The Christian life is about surrendering to and abiding with. Surrendering to God's call on our life and abiding with others as they do the same. Knowing that God is always with us as the binding agent. Now, as a little bonus to those of you who plan to come both this morning and this evening, this is actually a two-part sermon. And I'm going to continue it this evening at Christmas Eve. Fear not, it will also be available online if you cannot be here this evening. But I'm going to leave you with the first chorus of Let It Be that immediately follows that verse that we had up earlier. And again, feel free to sing with me if you would like. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. We can surrender to God's use and call on our lives, and we can whisper words of wisdom to each other as we abide together on this Christian journey, as we anticipate Christ's coming, Christ's being, Christ's dying, Christ's resurrecting, and Christ's coming again. Let it be. To be continued.